Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk, and thank you for continued support of a platform that is celebrating industrial professionals all around the world. Because you are bold, you are brave, you dare greatly, you innovate, and you collaborate to solve problems. That's why we celebrate you on this podcast. We're also broadcasting on-site PowerGen here in the lovely town of New Orleans, and it is a buzzing. We're right on the floor. We're having great conversations, and you're going to be joining us, and we're going to have another great conversation with a gentleman by the name of Wayne Adams. He's an international sales consultant, and we're going to be talking about renewables. Let's get to it cracking. All right, Wayne. There it is. I'm worn out.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah.
Good to meet you, my friend.
Pleasure.
Fellow Canadian, my goodness.
Yes.
The stars have aligned.
Yes. Ty Cat, but you're in Calgary. So
yeah, I live up in Calgary. Yeah, originally born in High River, Alberta. I'm 73 years in as we speak.
No way.
Yeah. So
but you've been doing this a long time.
Just getting warmed up.
Yeah, see, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm not going to retire.
No.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
I'm going down with my boots on.
I was telling my family that, and I just said, there's no way. What am I going to do?
Yeah, no.
Golf's golf.
We got to wake up every morning and solve problems.
Yes.
There's problems every day.
Look at you, man. I'm all giddy with excitement here.
Yep. Well,
and then this just sort of happened out of the blue. You were just wandering by. There it is, man. Boom. Let's sit down and have a chit-chat.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the conference real quick. You having a good one?
Yeah, we just got here, my friend Dick and I, just a few minutes ago, and we've been just shaking hands and talking to all kinds of people about different widgets, and everybody's pumped.
There's widgets around here. There's tons of widgets.
You got it.
So with that, we already know your background because you're always from Calgary, so that's good. Yep. And you've been in the power... let's just say
power generation world all my life since 1973.
Yeah.
So I'm at year 50 here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is my anniversary.
You've seen a lot of changes.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay, for that, what do you think? Because we're going to be talking about renewables. Renewables have been around for, I want to say, a number of years because I negotiated those contracts.
Yep. Wind, we started with wind, and then we've gone more into solar recently. And now we're talking about electrolysis, removal of hydrogen from water with electrolysis units. But unfortunately, they've got to be 1 gigawatt, which is 1,000 megawatts.
Oh, yeah.
So they're big in modules. Like, say, 20 megawatt modules, 50 of them.
But what are you producing?
We're producing hydrogen.
Yeah, I know, but how much? How do you back in if it's a gigawatt of power?
Yep.
And I've got to try to get hydrogen. What's the volume?
I don't actually have the volume numbers for you, but they're big plants, huge. And there's problems with hydrogen. We're trying to solve that right now because you can't pipe hydrogen very well, but you can burn hydrogen in gas turbines. But to date, only about 25 to 30% in various gas turbines. GE, Mitsubishi, Siemens.
Oh, God, here we go, man.
Yeah.
I've got so many questions. So
there's metallurgical problems.
But then you got a different heat rate too, so you're mixing natural gas with hydrogen to try to come up with that recipe to be able to
reduce emissions.
That's exactly
Get rid of
correct.
The CO2.
Right.
Yeah.
What is that? What's that optimal?
Well, the gas turbines, the large power plants now are sort of 800 megawatt cookie cutter plants.
Yeah.
Say with 2 by 240 megawatt gas turbines and a 320 megawatt steam turbine. And the small ones are about 105 megawatts, which are 2 by 40 megawatt LM6000s. Everybody knows what they are.
Everybody knows LM.
Plus a 25 megawatt steam turbine, which are now Siemens units. They used to be Dresser-Rand, but we got purchased a few years back. So
But then again, it gets down if you're trying to pull in more methane, or not methane.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
Well,
hydrogen.
that's all part of it too.
Yeah, I got you. I got the methane component and the capture of it. Yeah. But if the generation assets have to also take into consideration that heat rate that is from the fuel. They have to redesign them too as well.
Correct. And I don't have the exact heat rates, or whether you're running a gas turbine or recip compressors, but everybody's looking at going to hydrogen. Because if we could go to 100% hydrogen fuel in the gas turbines and compressors or recip engines to generate power, that would be wonderful. But that's like saying we're going to go to net zero. Unfortunately, news alert, we're not going to net zero. We're not going to get there. And I am a huge proponent of renewables. Not in our lifetime. All coal plants are not going to stop. They will still be running. We're trying to do the best we can. So let's just agree that maybe we'll get 60 to 80% of the way there. That would be very successful.
See, again, from my perspective, it's quite pragmatic. Yeah. If I have a coal-fired generator, that's baseload. That's like predictable, stable. Yeah. Nothing's going to fluctuate. No, my cycles. It's a clean. When I say clean, the power's good. It's not all over the place.
It's steady and it's cheap power.
Yes.
But unfortunately, if we don't do something with the CO2 in the atmosphere, we're not going to have to worry about how cheap our power is. We won't be here.
Yeah.
So we've got to do something about it. Like Alberta, for example. We've converted all our coal plants to natural gas fuel. It's done. It's over. But we're still putting CO2 into the air, and yes, we're still polluting, but we're trying to get rid of the coal plants as fast as we can. You just can't shut them off. 2 weeks ago, it was 38 below, a week and a half ago, it was 38 below in Alberta. At 7 o'clock at night, we had an emergency alert. If you don't start turning your lights off, we got lights all around us here, we're going to have rolling blackouts. And
not good.
Within 5 to 10 minutes, I went and shut all my lights off, unplugged my car's block heater, and the power dropped 200 megawatts in 10 minutes. Welcome to Alberta. It worked. And we did not have to go into rolling blackouts. So you just can't shut all that. We were doing 12.35 gigawatts of power that night, max, that we could possibly put out.
So when you start to
12,350 megawatts, just for the little province of Alberta.
Yeah. So when you have to shut down and get the alert, shut your lights off.
It's rolling.
How long?
Rolling. It might be a half an hour or 45 minutes. And then you're at risk of maybe having a glitch in the system and having a province-wide blackout.
Yeah,
it makes the power operators very nervous.
Yeah.
And at 38 below, it made me very nervous. How long can I be in my house at 38 below with no power? You know,
I don't know.
My thermostat doesn't work. Nothing works. My furnace doesn't work. It's getting cold in here.
So, tell us now. What we've touched upon are the conversion of existing. So, let's say in the case of Alberta, the coal-fired plants into natural gas.
They're now natural gas fired. We're bringing on combined cycles, gas turbines, CCGT plants. Yep. We've got cookie cutter.
Hold. CC.
Combined cycle gas turbines plants.
Got it.
2 by 2 by 1. 2 gas turbines, 2 heat recovery steam generators taking the waste heat off, hot gases off the back of the gas turbine and generating steam. The steam turbine. That's the most efficient plant. And we're going to have lots of those plants. So the new power island of the future that we're all trying to get to is probably going to have hydropower in the background. We've got hydro, but Quebec are the king of hydro in Canada.
It is. Ontario,
So we got that. We're going to have solar. We're going to have wind, hopefully nearby, so you don't have to transmit it too far. And we're going to have a CCGT plant combined cycle gas turbine plant.
Yep.
We're going to have a small modular reactor, nuclear, sort of in the 300 to 400 megawatt size. Welcome,
snap.
GE and Hitachi, Darlington.
Yeah.
SAS Power signed up for some, and so is Alberta. Capital Power and Ontario Power just did a contract, I believe, and they want to do 4 in Alberta.
Wow.
And I believe those are going to be 300 to 400 megawatts each. But this isn't going to happen.
The nuclear?
Yes.
Really?
2 weeks ago. But, you know, how long is this going to take? Nobody's going to get a license for a small modular reactor until they figure out how exactly they're going to handle the waste. And that's kind of where they're at right now. There's a lot of hype about small modular reactors, and money's being spent, and I believe we have to spend it. But we have to know what we're going to do with the waste from the reactor. Now, we might be burying it in the Canadian...
you have some land.
Oh, well, Ontario bedrock, the Canadian Shield.
Yeah.
And it may be 200 feet underground, and they may drive the reactor when it's old underground and encapsulate it and leave it there forever. They're thinking about that. That's one of the options. Rather than taking the fuel out, at 25, 30 years, just take the whole reactor under there. It's small, and encapsulate it under there and leave it, and bring online another one. It's got to be cookie cutter. Everything has to be cookie cutter. When we say we're not getting rid of we're getting rid of nuclear power. What they really mean to say, we're getting rid of 1,000 megawatt reactors. Think Poland. They got 6 of them there.
Yeah.
You've heard about them in the news. They're 1,000 megawatts each. Nobody has ever been able to put one of those things online on schedule and on budget.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So you cannot schedule that kind of infrastructure. You need small ones, and it's like building Boeing 747s.
Yeah.
Think of it like that. We need plants building pretty much the same reactor, 300-400 megawatts. It might be 200. There may be 2 or 3 different types of plants. There's not only one type of Boeing aircraft. There's also Airbus and and smaller ones. So think same sort of manufacturing techniques with small modular reactors.
It's all doable.
It's all doable.
Oh, I'm a big reactor fan.
Yes.
I just, when we start talking about the impact of the environment, of course, everybody goes to what happens when, and fill in the blank. What do we do when it's spent? What do we...
They're working very hard on that. And there's people around the world working on this, and they've been working on it since time began. We know there's a waste with nuclear reactors. But I guess you've got to ask yourself, what is worse? The ocean's rising 10 feet, catastrophic hurricanes and storms. Like, what are we afraid of here? Let's just get moving with this and do it right. We have
but
engineers.
you see, Alberta is a very unique province.
Yes, it is.
Because you're energy rich.
Yes,
and you've got a tremendous industrial base there.
Correct.
And that's what makes Alberta a very unique province.
Yeah, we're doing just fine. Alberta is going to boom again.
Oh, yeah.
Because we still have cheap housing. We've got this this backlog of engineering. The best engineering in Canada is out of Calgary.
Easily.
And Edmonton.
Yeah.
So, and we're working on this. Everybody thinks we're standing still. Oh, we hate renewables. No, we don't. The oil companies, if you talk to anybody in there that's in the know, they're not afraid of maybe oil production is going to reduce somewhat. We need to get rid of our coal. Like, what are the options here if we do nothing?
Yeah, but
that's more scary than anything we're talking about.
But you guys are in the catbird seat. Let's be candid.
In the which?
The catbird.
Yeah,
you guys are, because you've got the base, you've got the horsepower, the intellectual and horsepower that exists in that province.
Absolutely. That's what I.
But those are viable. See, I still struggle, not to poo-poo some of the renewable solutions out there, but I know that there's a demand, and that demand requires some stability, and to pursue that stable power is vital.
Correct.
And when you start talking about nuclear, when you start talking about...
nuclear is very stable.
Oh, it is.
Yes. I mean, we're not going away from nuclear. People hear that, we're shutting down all of our nuclear plants in Germany and France. Yeah, that's the 1,000-megawatt plants, but we're going to build a whole bunch of smaller ones, 300, 400, maybe 200 megawatt. That's coming.
By the way, that's not real small when you get right down to it. 200 megawatts.
No. But you got to be able to build them on time, on budget, and you got to know when you're going to have them, just like an airplane.
Yeah.
A 747 or an Airbus.
No, you're absolutely spot on.
So, actually, the people that are in the lead right now are China and Russia. Sorry to say it. China's already brought on their first small modular reactor. It's running last year. And the second one is coming online.
What's the size, do you know?
I think it's about 300 to 400 megawatts, similar to GE Hitachi. I didn't mean to advertise for them, but everybody knows this. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
So, and Russia, they took their small modular reactors out of their submarines 30 years ago and put them in their icebreakers. They're nuclear powered, folks. They already have a small modular reactor running in Siberia.
It's not as if we didn't.
We have the technology.
We have the knowledge. We have the ability. Yeah. Look at all of the military vessels like you just brought up.
The Russian icebreakers are the world leaders, and that's why they're taking control of the Northwest Passage.
Yeah.
There's open water over on the Russian side, folks. They have an LNG plant there that's ready to take on LNG. I mean,
have you been to the LNGs around here? Down in Louisiana, Calcasieu
I know
Parish?
all about them.
Yeah.
I know all about them, and they're exporting LNG as fast as they can to Germany, and they've got 4 receiving terminals there. I go to Croatia regularly, and there's an LNG terminal there that came online 2 years ago.
They're massive.
Yeah.
I just think it's just such a fascinating engineering solution.
It's an FSRU, they call it.
Yeah.
Floating Storage Regasification Unit. And this huge ship comes in and unloads. It goes down the pipeline through Croatia, up into Italy.
Brilliant.
I mean, come on.
It is.
Let's get with the program.
Yeah, it's something, man.
So, anyways, that's sort of my take on what's going on. I could sit here and talk all day, but I don't have all the numbers, but I just, as an international sales consultant, I feel my job is to go out and talk to people like you, talk to the people in the U.S., talk to the people in China. There's no Russians here. They haven't showed up that I know of.
They're missing a great show.
And say, welcome, you guys. We have to work together.
I love it. You are absolutely wonderful.
Okay, well, thank you.
No, don't keep your headphones. Everybody's such in a hurry. His name is Wayne. He's an international sales consultant, and he was chirping on a number of topics that are near and dear to my heart, most definitely. All right, we're broadcasting on site here at PowerGen 24 here in New Orleans. It is a collection of problem solvers. That's what I see. As I look out at the vast participants and all the little tools and techniques. Norway, right there. Norway's right next to me.
There's the brochure.
There it is, right there. He's got a brochure. He's pumping Norway now.
LM2500s.
LM25.
That's the solution for air intake.
There it is, man.
Exhaust.
Right there. All right, we're going to wrap it up on the other side. We're going to have all the contact information for Wayne out on industrialtalk.com, so stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
Yeah. Wayne Adams. That was PowerGen. There's a lot of challenges happening in power generation, the market itself. I'm glad people like Wayne are working on those challenges. I really enjoyed the conversation around hydrogen, and I always wondered, why couldn't we just do more hydrogen? And apparently there are some challenges associated with that. And as I continue to say, challenges. But those are wonderful opportunities for success. And, people like Wayne and his... let's say J.W. Adams and Associate Inc. Very cool. Very good stuff. All right, we're building a platform. We're building an ecosystem of individuals such as yourself. You have a podcast, you want greater exposure, put it on Industrial Talk. If you want to just get on Industrial Talk and tell your story, to amplify your story, it's all there. You go out to industrialtalk.com, find out more. It is easy. You talk to me. We have to be about educating, collaborating, and innovating all the time, as you can tell at PowerGen. Be bold, be brave, dare greatly. Hang out with Wayne, change the world. We're going to have another great conversation shortly, so stay tuned.